So before I start exposing colleges and universities, congratulations to the class of 2024 and all my friends who just graduated as well. I'm hoping that you will all do well in your future endeavors and that you will all find jobs with these degrees that you got. Because after all, that is the ultimate goal of college. But while I eat my bread here, I'm going to explain to you why colleges are a scam. Okay? We've all been sold this idea that if you go to college, you're going to get a high-paying job and you're going to find success and there's no other way. You have to go to college or you're kind of screwed into being the worst occupation you can think of. And I'm here to tell you that this is not true. Okay, this is not true, especially now. And by the way, I don't know if this is the case worldwide. I'm just talking in terms of the United States' perspective. It used to be true, you know. I think ever since 1944 or whenever the GI Bill was passed, that colleges and everything of that sort were the way to go. Veterans were coming home trying to go to school, settle down, make families, and all that stuff. And it was true. These veterans were now given access to colleges and universities, which wasn't just, you couldn't just go to a college and university. You used to have money, right? These were prestigious institutions. Only the top people would go to them because not everyone was educated, okay? Before the late 1940s and 50s, having a college education was kind of rare. You could only go if you had money. There's only so many colleges that you could actually go to. And that's just kind of how the world was operating at the time. And so when people were given more access to it in the late 40s and 50s and just basically given a better opportunity, you know, more colleges, more funds, more people going to them. It was just an overall good place to go. But that was eventually bound to dry up as we see now because... Hold on. Is this like kind of in the way of the house? I don't like that it's in the way of the house. I think I need to rethink this. And throughout the 70s, 80s, and I would say even the 90s, college was pretty good. But there was this one issue that started popping up. Colleges started becoming ridiculously more expensive than they used to be. And there's a reason for that. It's called everyone then started wanting to go to college because they were sold this idea, which was true at the time, that you would get higher paying, more prestigious jobs. So they had to build more colleges, they had to build more competition, they had to satisfy the demand. But you get to a point where there's too many colleges, okay, they're all competing with each other, and they need to start differentiating. And how do they differentiate? They give people extracurriculars, they give people clubs and activities and all kinds of fun stuff that costs a lot of money to build. And who's going to pay for the price? It's going to be the students who go to said colleges and universities. And of course, fairly so. Why wouldn't you pay for what you're getting? Okay, let me move this horse because blood is just in the way of everything. Here, you can just... Okay, don't fall off the map. Okay, you just like instantly went to jump off the map, Bojack. I know your name is Bojack, but you don't have to actually act like the one from the show. Now, with all these extracurricular activities and stadiums and other things that are not based on the academics, the college price tag goes up, which means in turn that people who have to pay the college price tag are also becoming more concerned. So colleges start giving out scholarships and grants. They probably were doing them before, but I'm assuming it was at a lesser extent. But not everyone can have a scholarship, right? Not everyone can have a grant. Not everyone can just do college that way. Okay, somebody is going to have to pay eventually. And how do you pay when you don't have money? You take out loans. Loans, ladies and gentlemen. The thing that is the curse of everyone's existence. You can take a loan for as much money as you want if you have your parents co-sign. Or not exactly as much money as you want, but you can pretty much take out a significant amount of loans in the hundreds of thousands of dollars in order to pay for college. You can't get a loan on a house, oh no, but you can do that for college. So anyway, you take out the loan, you start going to school, you're having fun, you're doing your thing with all these new additions to colleges, and it's a great time. It's a great time. You're doing well, you're having a great time, your grades may not be suffering or anything, but here comes the time for you to graduate, which also means that here comes the time for you to pay up. That's right. So you're like, okay, whatever. I did all this college stuff. I knew I was going to need to start paying off the loans eventually. What could possibly go wrong? I'm going to find a job regardless anyway. Well, here's where you're wrong, sonny boy. The problem now is that since people have found out the way for everyone to go to college, which means everyone now gets a cushy office job with air conditioning, right? Wrong. You have the issue that there aren't that many jobs for everyone to take. Not every piece of labor can be skilled labor in the sense of, mentally skilled labor. You have to have people that are doing the hard labor. You have to have people that are outside building homes, or you have to have people that are plumbers, or you have to have people that are electricians, people that go to trade schools for that sort of thing. How many people do you know that said, oh yeah, I'm going to go to trade school instead of going to college? Probably, if you go based on the percentages of your high school graduating class, most of them wanted to go to college. And you understand why. It's because not everyone wants to go to trade school. It's not seen as prestigious, or people think you can't make enough money in physical labor, or people just don't want to do the physical labor, plain and simple. Or at least they think they don't. I was one of those people, by the way. I'm one of those people that doesn't want to do the hard skilled labor. Okay, my father is actually a woodworker, carpenter / roofer. And I did that work with him. I did that work with him for a couple of summers when I was in my teenage years, and I didn't like it. I didn't like working in the heat, okay? I didn't like doing that outside of work. I didn't like fixing people's roofs, okay? So I decided, I'm going to go to college because I don't like that. I don't know how I feel about this stable. I feel like there's some issues with it, but I think now it's time to start making... Whatever, this'll do for now. Ouchie. Okay, I see my error here, and I see my error there. Okay, so anyway, everyone just like me doesn't want to do manual labor work. But there's a main difference here between me and a bunch of other people who said, I don't want to do the hard labor of working outside kind of work. A lot of people never even really tried it. Okay, a lot of people never got to see if they actually like doing this stuff. A lot of people never actually tried to do anything other than the schooling. Because there's a lot of people who aren't good at school naturally, okay? There's a lot of people who just, you don't realize it, but they're not meant to do the cushy office job because they probably just won't even like it in the first place. But parents also play a big role in this. Parents have seen, of course, the labors of their mothers and fathers. Okay, they've seen what it's like to do the skilled outside labor, and they say, okay, this is hard, and I don't want my kid to have a hard life, or I don't want my kid to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, the horse just escaped. All right, that's cool. You're getting the defense treatment until I update this version. So when parents adopt this mentality that, doing the hard labor is not good, you won't make money in it, or you just won't be able to afford the nice things that you want. These are all things that are not true. Have you seen what construction workers make in the United States right now? Like, have you actually seen what they make? And of course, I'm not saying right off the bat. They're not making hundreds of thousands of dollars right off the bat, but they can make in the six-figure range if they stay with it and they become skilled enough to the point where people need them, because this country loves building shit. Okay? The United States loves building stuff. They love just making their massive skyscrapers and new houses and things, because guess what? We have nothing but land in this country. All we have is land upon land upon land, and we like to mostly build in like very condensed areas anyway. And I don't have actual stats for this, but I'm sure if you look this up and see, okay, I see what my issue here is. This horse has like no room to actually move. So, I'm just going to close it off. Let me just do this. Bro, you're like the real Bojack. Pain in my ass. Anyway. Try to make you a nice little house where you're staying instead of on that peg that I had you on. That wood log. That wood fence. And this is how you repay me? You just escape every time I try to make you the house around you? I didn't even take you out of the house for most of the time to shield you from the snow. But no, you just want to sit there and be a d*** about it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, Bojack. You little alcoholic bastard. In any case, there's always work in construction because you're always building things, bro. People are always building things and knocking things down. Let me give you another example. I used to live in a house with about 5 roommates, and of course, being in a house, you needed to have maintenance done once in a while because A, B, or C would break. And there was a couple of maintenance guys that would come over. General handymen, if you will. And what I noticed about these general handymen is that none of them were below the age of 50. Okay, there was about, I think, 2 or 3 that came. Okay, maybe one was about in his 40s, but every single one of them was in the older range. And you might say to yourself, okay, that's probably because they're more skilled, they're older, they probably know how to do more. But the thing is, I don't think you could find the young ones if you tried. Okay? I don't think you could find them if you tried, because everyone is going to college. College doesn't breed electricians, construction workers, handymen/handy women. It doesn't breed any of those trades that require you to go to trade school, right? Which are all ridiculously necessary for anything to operate. You can't have lights without electricity. You can't have water to shower if you don't have plumbers. You can't have a house without construction workers. And this handyman, let's call him Josh, right, was probably making shitloads of money because he's not competing with anyone, okay? He sets his prices because the competition is so low. Part 3, we had to call a plumber one time. Okay, we had to call a plumber one time because we clogged the toilet so bad from some party we had. This plumber, I shit you not, the pricing, if I could find the texts I had with this guy, this is like the only young guy, by the way. This guy was like new in the business in his like 20s. And he was charging us just like a $50 dispatch fee, I think, plus like whatever it would cost to do the labor actually, plus the parts that it would cost if we needed to replace the toilet. Luckily, because I'm that guy, I was able to unclog the toilet myself. But not everyone's that guy like me. It would have been like a $300 job for something that ended up being a 2-hour-long fix. And for him, probably 20 minutes. This guy would have been paid $50 to show up and another at least $50 to do what he was supposed to do. Just because there was not that many plumbers in the area where I lived. Basically what I'm saying is, if you think that money is your issue, it's not. Because you will make so much money, okay? And depending on what you're doing, if you're in construction, you're going to be part of a union. So yeah, you might pay your union dues, but you get insane time off, you get benefits, you get all these fun things. You know what you don't get with the corporate cushy jobs? You don't get unions, or even video editing like I was doing. A lot of times you're an independent contractor. A lot of times you're working in corporate offices that want you to work through the night. A lot of times you're getting things that are just ridiculous, considering this is what everyone wants to do. They want to be part of corporate America. They want to be part of the cushy office job. Yeah, well, it ain't that cushy, bro. It ain't cushy because, yeah, you might be looking prestigious with a suit and tie and doing all your office paperwork, but your friend, the construction worker over there, is making more than you. And he's probably doing things that are contributing more to society anyway. And the most important part is that trade school is infinitely cheaper. You most likely won't even have to take out loans. However, it is true. You don't get to work in air conditioning. You don't get to work in the nicest conditions. You're outside in the heat or in the snow or whatever the hell it is. And it's hard work. No one said it was easy. Nobody at any point said that doing the laborer job, the blue collar, is going to be easier than the white collar. But it's a hell of a lot better than doing the white collar if you don't like what the white collar provides. It's a hell of a lot better than paying out student loans for the next 20 years. It's a hell of a lot better than going to school, failing at school, doing extra college just so you can do a job that you probably won't like anyway because you didn't like what you had to do for it in school. And let's not get this twisted. The only reason anyone ever goes to college is because you want a job. If you want a job, go to trade school, bro. I'm not even lying to you. I think trade school is the way to go. And I'm saying this as someone who got the dream version of college, okay? I went to college, I had scholarships, I avoided loans, I'm doing okay, and I found a job right out of college. I'm saying this as somebody who did it, okay? I'm saying this as somebody who actually achieved the goal of the college graduate. And I did it in the film industry, okay? The film and video and all that stuff, also known as the industry that you don't make money on. Yeah, I made my bag. I did it. I succeeded in the college dream. And I still don't think you should do it. I don't think you should do it because I don't think you need that many people in college. Unless those people aren't necessarily going to find jobs, but they're going to be educated, which is a whole different ballpark. If you want to learn about something and you don't expect to make money on it, go to college all you want, okay? Spend the thousands of dollars. But if you don't fall in that minority, then I think you need people who are self-aware enough to understand that A, the schooling isn't for them. B, the type of job that the schooling provides isn't for them. C, that they don't want thousands of dollars of debt. And D, just swallow their pride and ignore their parents. Because even though your parents might think they know what's good for you, they don't always know what's good for you, okay? They want what's good for you. There's a difference. There's a difference between wanting what's good for you and knowing what's good for you. You are going to be eventually the only person that knows what's good for yourself. Because no one knows what your goals are, okay? No one truly knows what you want to do with your life and how you want to live it. So stop letting others tell you how to live it. Stop letting others influence if you're going to college or not. Okay? Because college will also always be there. Okay? The colleges and institutions aren't going away. They'll get more expensive in time, but you can always go back. You can always go back to college and say, okay, you know what? I did trade school. I tried it out. I don't like manual labor. I want to pursue a college education type job. And yeah, it's going to be a harder thing to do. It's going to be harder to go from that point back to college. And another thing I almost forgot about the trade school argument, you could just say to a local plumber, hey, I want to try out plumbing. I want to be your apprentice for a bit. I don't have any trade school experience, but I will do anything just to understand and learn from you. You think that guy's going to say no to you? Just offer to do it for free for a couple of weeks, or even just have him pay you minimum wage, because he'll probably do it. He has nothing to lose. And if the first one says no, go to a second one. Go to an electrician. Go to a different trade. Someone's going to say yes eventually. When your free 2-week trial of attempting trade school is done, and you say, okay, this isn't for me, then go to college. My overall message here is, I'm not saying don't go to college entirely, okay? But know that colleges at this point are becoming ridiculous. They're becoming stupid. They're charging stupid amounts of money for the parts that aren't even really the college experience. They should make it, you know what they should do? They should make a college experience package. They should make it that students, okay, pay a different price tag for what they want. Maybe you just want the academics. Maybe you just want the academics. You just want the part where you go into a classroom, you have a professor teach you, and you go home. You don't want all the extracurriculars. You don't want to do all of the extra stuff. You don't need to go to the pool every day, or you don't need to be part of the frat and do that part, or you don't need to, I don't know, live in the dorm. A lot of colleges force you to live on campus your first year. Do you know that one? That's a fun one. Seriously, let's see what happens when the colleges do that. Let's see how quickly the college price tag would drop and how quickly those institutions would be facing severe issues. Yeah, it's not going to be as fun, but college isn't meant to be a fucking vacation, dude. It's meant to be a part where you work your ass off to get to your next stage of life. But it shouldn't cost you 10 years of monetary sadness to do so. Regardless, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and if you do disagree, please have a conversation with me in the comments. I would love to hear your side of things. Maybe you'll change my mind, okay? Because I am no longer convinced that college is the way to go for everyone. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video. Best of luck for all the college graduates. Best of luck for those of you considering college. Good night, and good luck, everybody.